Hi, everybody. All right, so I just made a video to talk about diet and spiritual enlightenment. It's totally worth checking out because if you're a meat eater and you want to find your spiritual enlightenment awesomeness, don't worry. I have everything you need to know in that video because I too have been a meat eater my whole life, and we talk about this. So in this video, I want to talk about the value of love, okay? So I'm going to tell you a story here, a recent story that happened that inspired me to do this new thing that I'm doing now. Okay, where do I begin on this? So I had a conversation yesterday. I've been doing some weird stuff lately. So I've been walking off the nature trail pathway and into different locations, into wooded areas or just under a bridge or whatever. I've been walking in weird places that are off the or off the path, you know? And so connecting with real pure pristine nature that other human beings have not interacted with. And so I go into these spaces and I have a real deep interaction with the energy vibration of pristine nature. And I experience that by sitting on, laying down on the ground or sitting next to a tree and then allowing myself to just feel and just share my thoughts, my challenges, my deeper heartfelt moments, what I'm confused about, what I'm wanting to accomplish in life, what I feel about the whole kit and caboodle of the world today and my life and my spiritual journey and all of this stuff. And so I had a very long conversation where I was exploring, behaviors within myself that I'm working on purifying, on raising the vibration of those behaviors so I can be more well-rounded, more purified, a better human being, all of those things. So okay, I'm going to tell you this part. So, in 2015, I made a video about Andromedans, and I was not sure about uploading it because it was about the weirdest video of all time. But I had an Andromedan experience. Was actually, for whatever reason, I was coming across material that had the Andromedans. So all I could think about for several weeks was just Andromedan this, Andromedan that, and where is this stuff even coming from? Like, what is the message here? Anyway, so in the middle of the night, I had a really weird experience, and I was kind of edgy, and at that time I really was edgy, and I was kind of irritable, and I just had a real pissy attitude, and they sort of enter into my world, and it was just sort of like, screw you people, like you get to live your perfect happy lives, and I'm stuck here trying to find balance, trying to find happiness, and good for you people, that was a jerk. I was a total jerk. They were just there to share love with me and help me. And I finally was like, okay, I'm sorry, I will stop being this way. And I allow you to, share energy with me. And in that video, I told them, I was like, you guys are like stale bread people. I was just a jerk. It was just not a good time. And anyway, I made that video. I'll try and find it and put a link to it so you could watch it. It takes about 15 minutes before I actually explain what happened. I was kind of looped out in a weird way. So anyway, so moving along, at the tree the other day, I told the universe, I told Andromedans, I told Galactic Federation, I told the alien universe, because we're all connected, we're all part of this gig together, and I really appreciate the loving, positive wisdom that comes from these messages of alien beings who are really here to support us. Why are we not digging that? Why are we not welcoming that? Why are we not sure about that? There are, just like there are human beings who really like to, squeeze the life out of other human beings, there's human beings who really like to love other human beings. There are alien beings who really love to love. And love is powerful. Love is healing. And love is transformative. And love heals all things, okay? So I came to this moment by the tree, and I told the Galactic Federation. So I had that experience with the Andromedans, and I actually at that time attempted to channel the Galactic Federation like several weeks later, not on video, just in my own time, as I was working a job then. And so I was talking to everybody while I'd work a job. I would always be in a spiritual state. So I try to connect with them, and they basically told me that I need to get rid of that ego, or if we're going to have a conversation, then I need to basically stop being a jerk. I was like, well, screw you people. If I want to be a jerk, I have a right to be a jerk, dang it. Well, anyway, I felt kind of emotional about that because they were right. And then I was just like, yeah, I know I was kind of a jerk, but I have a reason to be upset here. I don't really understand why my life has been, just such a freaking gymnastic circus from hell. Like, here I still am, thank goodness. And so that was the last time I really connected with him in this way. And I think I made a couple of videos where I attempted, but it just wasn't a really genuine connection, like not as powerful as I wanted it to be. Wasn't meant to be. Anyway, so I had that moment by the tree, and I connected with Andromedans, and I told him, I'm not that way anymore, and I've let go of that sort of angry side of myself. And I told the Galactics that they were right. I needed to not be this way because I have a sore spot, because I just don't get why, I have felt abandoned here, I've felt abandoned without a lot of explanation for what this is about. And I have come to a state of acceptance that, I have a role here to help humanity, and I don't really get all the details of it, so I just kind of do whatever I'm meant to do next, and then I just experience being human, just like all of us do. I have the really bad times, and I have the triumphant moments. And so when I left that point, I felt so positive. I felt really transformed, and they told me they wanted me to do something new. And so I do energy work. So I actually project myself into the spiritual atmosphere of you or anybody who's interested. I go into your spiritual atmosphere, and then I explore the wisdom of you. So what does the wisdom look like? It looks like storylines and pictures and images, and then I alter the pattern of balance in the image and allow the image then to find its light, its healing, its wealth, its worth. Like some of these scenes, they will talk to me like they've been abused, and it doesn't necessarily mean you've been abused, but some part of your body, your mental body, your emotional body has been really damaged from living, and it needs a genuine hug. And so I do this work. I project into people's spiritual atmospheres in order to share the love and the healing that can transform your life. And so they were asking me, why are you doing this in the spiritual all the time? How come you're not doing this in the physical on the same level? And it's like, well, I mean, I do, but I guess you're right. I see what you're saying. I went to Walmart after this. Walmart is an excellent place to try this out, okay? Just do it. I went to Walmart, and every person I looked at, didn't matter anything, I actually looked at every person, and then I shared love with every single person that I saw. And I just experienced being a physical human being, not projecting into anybody's spiritual atmosphere, just being a physical human being, and then just sharing love. I love you. I love you. And just literally pushing my energy body and wrapping it around them to give them a hug, even at a distance. And so I was doing this with everybody. This is the next part of the story. I want you to hear this part of the story. I want you to really listen, because this is important, okay? So I made a video approximately, first part of January, where I talk about some of the weird, difficult experiences I had in 2016 with real energetic challenges, and they were scary, right? Well, I've learned a lot since then, okay? One of those challenges, I was at Gray's Lake, and I was just in such a state of pure and infinite bliss and connection with everything, and feeling the harmonies of creation. Do you know what the harmonies of creation sound like? Allow yourself to experience the love of everything. Love of ants, love of beetles, love of grass blades, love of weeds, love of the lake, love of bridge, love of the trees, love of the stars, love of the air. start feeling the love and everything, okay? And allow that love to be a part of your heart. It already is a part of your heart, but allow yourself to feel the connection and the oneness with it. And now you're starting to grow and grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And now you are part of the air. You are part of everything. You feel everything all around you, and you just rejoice, right? You get louder and louder and louder, and how much love you are feeling inside of yourself and all around you. And it's gratitude, it's love, it's appreciation, it's all of this stuff. Well, anyway, in this state, this happened in July. I was in such a state of pure and infinite love bliss that suddenly I had like out of nowhere, it was just like bucket of acid on Abby's face. I was like, ah! Something terrifying happened. It was awful. It was like my super love was just contaminated by some really creepy, scary nightmare from the universe, staring me in my face with scary energy. And I was just like, I was so just derailed and confused and just hurt by this. Never in my life. Are you serious? That's just like slapping Mother Teresa in the face, you know? It's like nobody slaps Mother Teresa in the face. Nobody. You know? It's like, why I'm sharing love and really that's what I deserve? That's pretty freaking lame. I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I was the way it felt energetically, it was like pure acid, and it was just scary as hell. And I was just like instantly just closed everything off. I became really small and invisible, and I just like went to my car and just cried my eyes out and drove away. Anyway, I'm starting to learn that was not the right approach. That was not correct. Because this is the other part of the story. So I do this energy work, right? In the spiritual atmosphere. What do I find in some people's spiritual atmospheres? Sometimes I find negative entities and demons and other things like that. So how do I transform? How do I heal you of this type of stuff? I go to them and I share love with them, and I actually see their heart and fill their heart with love in order to transform them in the light. Sometimes they're like, get the freaking hell away from me. I don't want your love. And then they jet, but I basically don't let them jet. It's like, if we're going face to face, it is time for your soul to transform in the light. You're transforming in the light today. You don't get a choice. If you're coming face to face with me, you're transforming in the light today. Well, anyway, so I know the power that I have in the spiritual realm, but I wasn't quite understanding that power actually works in the physical realm too, because this isn't a physical reality. It's just it's just a spiritual reality. It's just a different plane of a spiritual reality that feels physical. So I actually can transform human demons in the light here, just people who have an energetic, a soul flavor about them that needs purified, that needs to feel the unconditional love again. Anyway, I was starting to discover this. I'm still a baby at this because I've never tried to project my love in this way. I've always held it inside of me, and then, you have a nice conversation with a friend and you start to feel the love coming back and forth, but with people I don't know, I just keep the love inside of me, right? So yesterday too, I actually went back I actually, in my own time, not at Gray's Lake, I actually channeled into the experience of what happened at Gray's Lake, and I shared love with that alien being, and it was quite a surprising experience. It was not scary at all. In fact, it was a very loving experience. It was really a test of what I believe the power of love is. He told me, what he said to me was, this alien being, what he said to me was, why do you look down all the time? And he said, you need to stop looking down when you're walking. You need to start looking up and looking at people. Otherwise, people will never be able to look into your eyes. And then he said, don't ever let anybody stop you from singing. And that was it. That was it. I was like, really? You're the scary? That was really sweet. That was surprisingly adorable and sweet of you. After he said that, in conjunction with the wisdom that I had gathered by the tree, I went to Walmart and I did just what he told me to do. I started looking into people's eyes and sharing love with them without them even knowing that I was doing it. And so I'm taking it upon myself to start practicing this every day. Not just holding the love within myself, but actually projecting the love out and then holding people all around me all the time, as often as I can. Because this is a love that changes everything. This is love that purifies everything. This is the love that heals the world, heals all human beings, heals all sicknesses, cures us of everything, heals water itself, heals polluted lakes. You get 10,000 people hand in hand that love and care, surround a lake, and now share your infinite love with the lake and watch the water purify and transform into love. That's what we're talking about here. I make this video to talk about sharing love with your food, love with your meat, love with the things that you are consuming. Now we're talking about sharing love with each other, people we don't even know. Sharing love with the lake, sharing love with the trees and nature. Just why are we not sharing love? Why are we not stepping out and just letting the love come out of us? I asked myself the same thing yesterday, which is why I knew I had to make these videos today. Because I've been having experiences, right, that have been talking to me. How have your experiences been talking to you, and what have they been talking to you about? What have they been talking to you about? What have they been asking you to do? Are they asking you to do something you don't feel you can accomplish? You just don't feel strong enough inside to accomplish it? What is that thing? You're in a relationship and you know it's not healing you. It's actually making you feel smaller inside. And it's hard to get out of a relationship that makes you feel small inside because the relationship is sucking all the energy out of you. But you're letting the energy go because you are choosing to remain in a relationship that is sucking you dry. You know in your heart that it's time to move on. Why are you not being moved on? Why are you not moving on? You're actually being called to move on. And you're not moving on because you don't feel you're strong enough to. Once you move on, you're going to be amazed by how fast you fill up like a totally full balloon and you find yourself again. You're being asked to look at your career, look at your relationships, look at what is the balance in your life or the imbalance in your life. If you don't know how to change things, start sharing love with it, okay? Start acknowledging that, I don't know how to get out of this relationship. And so I'm going to actually just start sharing love with the idea of what this has been, what this relationship experience has been about. We create an energy bubble here. Here is you, here's your partner, energy bubble. You just visualize this stuff. In my mind, I see energy bubble. Okay, here's me, here's you. Okay, now I'm just going to share love with the energy bubble. Tell the universe I don't really know how to separate from this relationship. Here, universe, I'm giving love to the energy bubble that I'm confused with this relationship. I'm handing energy bubble to angels now, asking angels to help assist me moving on from this relationship. I know I need to move on, don't know how. This is how you start putting your spiritual gifts into action, okay? It's simple. It's really easy stuff. And now you listen for the little birdie to tell you to do certain things, and then you just do them, okay? So, little birdie is asking me to stop drinking coffee. I don't want to stop drinking coffee. Well, I do feel that there's some weird energy for vibration that isn't balanced with me, so I'm going to let this one go. I'm going to let this go. My chocolate donuts, okay. I'll let my chocolate donuts go. My ice cream. Fine. And now it's like, okay, seriously, I'm going to have to let go like filet and prime rib steak. Are you serious? I'm going to have to let this go now. They're asking me to actually transition from eating red meat into eating chicken as the next step. If I'm not ready to if I want to still eat meat, to consume chicken. I'm not sure what the vibrational difference is, but that would be a next step. They told me that would be an acceptable exploration. But I even said, okay, so if I don't eat meat anymore, what am I going to eat? And they're like, well, everything else, duh. You can eat vegetables and fruit and nuts and in pasta and breads and all kinds of stuff. You don't have to have meat. And so, I don't know, we're just going to see how that goes. That's in my other video, I talk about this. Anyway, so that's what I want to share in this video, the value of loving beyond yourself. Love beyond yourself. In this reality, love beyond yourself. Love everything. If you happen to be experiencing an attack type, an energy, sort of a psychic challenge, that is challenging your state of ability, it's inspiring you to close the door and walk away, that is an opportunity for you to go back and look into that cupboard is scary and share love with it. People who are having challenges with an energy kind of attack experience, all you have to do is look into the vibration and share love with it. What happens is, I'm learning that what happens is, when the energy scary happens, it inspires you to instantly tap into fear or hatred or anger, and then that sort of opens you up enough where you start spewing out energy that can be sucked out of you. And so don't do that. Just instantly, when you feel a fear or you feel the tingle of something happening, just instantly look into the energy and share love with it. Into the energy. You don't need to know what it looks like. Just, okay, it feels scary. Just, okay. Love into the energy. Love into the energy. Love into the energy. Unconditional love into the energy. Purifying the energy with love. Allowing love to purify this energy. Purifying the energy, releasing the energy with pure, unconditional love. Allowing the energy to explore a transformation from a lower vibration into a higher vibration, from chaos into love. Exploring, allowing this energy vibration to transform now in the light. You can do this thing, okay? You tap into your love bank, and then you just keep sharing it and sharing it and sharing it until that just disconnects on its own. It'll either A, be transformed, or it'll be B, disconnected instantaneously. Demons are this way too. They freak out when you start sharing love with them, because they are going to be forced to absorb love or get the hell out of there. They are forced to either transform by love or get the heck out of there. So we need to start using this all the time, all around us, all the time, surrounding ourselves in love and helping to purify those around us, helping to purify everything. Even go into Walmart and you're standing there by the blueberries and just share love with all the blueberries so that those blueberries are purified to anybody who would end up consuming them. You see how we help each other without even doing it and saying, hey, I helped you today. Just know in your heart, you know what, I helped every single person who gets blueberries today. I purified all the blueberries today. I feel so proud of myself. See how we go undercover and heal everybody without them even knowing it? We purify things, and we love each other. We love everything. That's it. That's all I'm going to share for this video. All right, so thank you for watching. If you're interested in connecting with me, I would absolutely love to help you through psychic wisdom or spiritual healing service. Please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.